What if global fame wasn't the final dream? What if true success was silence, family, and peace? Behind the flashing cameras, roaring concerts, and million-dollar deals, there exists a quiet world in Beverly Hills. A world where Nick Jonas doesn't live like a pop star. He lives like a man who has conquered fame and chosen meaning over noise. But this life didn't begin in luxury. It began with uncertainty, with struggle, and with a boy who refused to quit. Before Beverly Hills mansions, before Hollywood fame, before sold-out stadiums, there was a small-town boy with a big voice and an even bigger dream. Nick Jonas was born in Dallas, Texas, but his childhood was far from glamorous. His family moved constantly, searching for stability, opportunity, and hope. Money was limited, comfort was uncertain, but talent was undeniable. At just 6 years old, Nick stepped onto a Broadway stage. While other kids played outside, he learned discipline, rejection, and pressure. At 10, he recorded his first songs. At 12, he signed his first deal. But success didn't come easy. Behind the smiling face of a child star, Nick was fighting a silent battle. At the age of 13, he was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, a life-changing moment. Doctors said his life would never be the same. But Nick decided something powerful. He would not let illness define him. Instead of giving up, he turned pain into purpose. He became stronger, more disciplined, more focused. And soon, destiny knocked again. The Jonas Brothers were born. 3 brothers, 1 dream, a sound that would change pop culture. Within a few years, Nick Jonas was no longer just a kid from Texas. He was a global superstar. Concert tours, hit albums, Hollywood movies, millions of fans. But fame has a price. Behind the bright lights, Nick faced pressure, expectations, and identity struggles. Who was he really? A teen idol? A musician? A brand? The world wanted perfection, but Nick wanted authenticity. When the Jonas Brothers took a break, many thought Nick's career was over, but that moment became his transformation. He reinvented himself, from boy band star to serious artist, from teen idol to global icon. His solo career exploded. Songs topped charts, awards followed, Hollywood opened doors, and slowly, Nick Jonas began building something bigger than fame. He began building a life. Fast forward to Beverly Hills, a city where dreams are measured in millions, and privacy is more valuable than fame. Here stands Nick Jonas's mansion, not just a house, but a symbol of evolution. Tall gates, modern architecture, glass walls reflecting California sunlight. But what makes this mansion special is not its price, it's the life inside it. Unlike many celebrities who chase attention, Nick Jonas chooses calm. His Beverly Hills home is designed for peace. Wide open spaces, minimalist interiors, soft lighting, a balance between luxury and simplicity. Every corner reflects one thing: control over chaos. And then, love entered his life. Priyanka Chopra. Their relationship shocked the world. Different cultures, different backgrounds, different continents, but one shared vision: family over fame. Their wedding wasn't just a celebrity event. It was a global cultural moment. Indian traditions, Western elegance, media attention worldwide. Yet behind the headlines, Nick found something rare in Hollywood: stability. Today, Nick Jonas's Beverly Hills mansion is not just a luxury property. It's a family home, a place where global fame ends at the door and real life begins. Morning routines, private conversations, quiet evenings, no paparazzi, no stage lights, just family. But is this quiet life really simple? How much does Nick Jonas actually earn? What secrets hide behind the walls of his mansion? How did he turn fame into fortune? And what does his luxurious lifestyle truly look like when no one is watching? In the next part, we will enter deeper into Nick Jonas's wealth, his business empire, his net worth, and the hidden reality of his Beverly Hills lifestyle. Because the real story of Nick Jonas is not just about music. It's about power, strategy, and a quiet luxury that few people ever see.
Fame makes you visible, but wealth makes you powerful. While millions see Nick Jonas on stage, very few understand what happens behind the scenes. Because Nick Jonas is not just a singer anymore. He is a businessman, an investor, a global brand. And Beverly Hills is only the surface of his empire. When Nick Jonas stepped out of the Jonas Brothers' shadow, he didn't just reinvent his music. He reinvented his financial future. His solo albums generated millions in revenue. Global tours added tens of millions more. But music was only the beginning. Nick entered Hollywood, films, television series, voice acting, brand collaborations. Each project wasn't just art, it was strategy. Nick Jonas understood something that many celebrities never learn. Fame fades, but ownership lasts. So he began investing. He partnered with luxury brands. He launched fashion collaborations. He invested in tech startups and lifestyle companies. From music royalties to business equity, his income streams multiplied. And slowly, his net worth climbed into the tens of millions. Some estimates place his wealth above $70 million, while others believe his true fortune is far higher. But Nick Jonas's wealth isn't just numbers on paper. It's visible in his lifestyle. In Beverly Hills, his mansion reflects modern elite taste, smart home technology, private cinema room, infinity swimming pool, luxury outdoor lounges. This is not a flashy celebrity palace. This is controlled luxury. Inside the mansion, every detail tells a story. Minimalist furniture, custom-designed interiors, art pieces from global designers. Nick Jonas doesn't just buy expensive things, he curates them. His home is built for privacy, high security systems, hidden entrances, gated surroundings. Because in Hollywood, privacy is the ultimate luxury. Then comes his passion for cars. Nick Jonas's garage is not just a collection, it's a statement. Luxury SUVs, high-performance sports cars, custom interiors, from sleek European models to powerful American machines. Each vehicle reflects a different side of his personality. Speed, elegance, power. But wealth didn't change his mindset. Instead of reckless spending, Nick focused on long-term stability, real estate investments, global properties, strategic partnerships. While many celebrities lose money, Nick Jonas multiplied it. And then something changed everything. Marriage with Priyanka Chopra. His financial and personal world expanded globally. Two global brands united. Hollywood meets Bollywood. American wealth meets international influence. Together they became one of the most powerful celebrity couples in the world. But behind luxury and wealth, there is always pressure. Nick Jonas faced expectations to stay relevant, to grow rich, to remain perfect. Every decision carried risk. Every investment carried uncertainty. Yet Nick Jonas never stopped evolving. Because he understood one truth. Luxury is not about money, it's about control. But what does Nick Jonas's daily life really look like inside his Beverly Hills mansion? How does he spend his mornings? What happens during his private family moments? And what secrets of his lifestyle are never shown on social media? In the next part, we will step inside Nick Jonas's personal world, his routines, habits, luxury experiences, and the emotional side of his Beverly Hills life. That fans rarely see, because behind the superstar image, there is a man balancing fame, family, and identity. Luxury is easy to show, but real life is what happens when the cameras are turned off. Inside Nick Jonas's Beverly Hills mansion, there are moments that no red carpet can capture. Moments of silence, moments of reflection, moments of family. Nick Jonas doesn't wake up like a typical celebrity. There are no flashing lights, no screaming fans, no paparazzi in his bedroom. His mornings begin quietly. Sunlight enters through massive glass windows. The city of Beverly Hills slowly wakes up outside. Business calls. Because for him, success is not accidental. It is routine. Inside his mansion, every corner has a purpose. A private studio where melodies are born. A gym where strength is built. A home office where million-dollar decisions are made. This house is not just a home. It is a headquarters. Then comes the most important part of his life, family. With Priyanka Chopra, Nick Jonas created more than a celebrity relationship. He created a partnership. They share mornings, conversations, laughter, not as global icons, but as two humans trying to protect their private world. Inside the mansion, family dinners are sacred. No cameras, no scripts, no public expectations. Just conversations about life, dreams, and future. Nick Jonas understands something most stars learn too late. Fame can give you everything, except peace. So he built peace inside his home. But life in Beverly Hills is not always calm. Outside the gates, the world is watching. Every move is analyzed. Every word becomes headlines. Every photo becomes gossip. Nick Jonas lives under constant observation. Yet inside his mansion, he tries to live like a normal person. Sometimes he spends evenings alone in his studio, writing songs that fans will never hear, thinking about decisions he must make, questioning the price of success. Because behind luxury, there is always pressure. Nick Jonas is not just maintaining fame, he is fighting to evolve. In Hollywood, staying relevant is harder than becoming famous. Every year, new stars appear, new trends rise, new audiences change. Nick Jonas knows that standing still is dangerous, so he keeps moving. But the most powerful moments in his mansion are not glamorous. They are simple. Late-night conversations, quiet walks in the garden, moments of laughter away from the world. In those moments, Nick Jonas is not a superstar. He is just a man searching for balance. And yet, one question always remains. Is this quiet luxury enough for someone who once ruled the global stage? Because behind the peaceful walls of his Beverly Hills mansion, there are ambitions still burning, dreams still unfinished, and decisions that could change everything. In the next part, we will explore Nick Jonas's hidden struggles, health battles, career risks, and emotional conflicts, the side of his life that luxury cannot hide behind every luxury life. There is a story that no one wants to talk about. Nick Jonas's mansion in Beverly Hills looks perfect from outside, but perfection is often an illusion. From a young age, Nick Jonas learned something painful. Success has a cost. While other kids were playing freely, Nick was performing on stages. While others were dreaming, he was working. And while the world saw a smiling superstar, inside a young boy was growing under pressure. Then came the moment that changed his life forever. At just 13 years old, Nick Jonas was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. For most teenagers, this would have ended everything. But for Nick, it became the beginning of a different battle. He had to learn discipline not just as an artist, but as a survivor. Strict routines, medical injections, constant monitoring. Behind every concert, there was a fight happening inside his body. Yet, Nick Jonas never allowed his condition to define him. He turned weakness into motivation, fear into strength, pain into purpose. Millions of fans around the world began to see him not just as a singer, but as an inspiration. But health was not the only challenge. Fame brought its own storms. Public criticism, media pressure, comparison with other artists. Every song was judged. Every move was analyzed. Every silence was questioned. When the Jonas Brothers broke up, many people believed Nick's career would collapse. The world expected him to fail, but failure was never part of his plan. Instead of quitting, Nick rebuilt himself. New music style, new identity, new vision. He proved that he was not just part of a band, he was a brand. Yet, reinvention came with loneliness. When you change, not everyone stays with you. Friends disappear, critics increase. Expectations grow heavier. In Beverly Hills, Nick Jonas sometimes faced silence louder than applause. Inside his mansion, there were nights when luxury felt empty, rooms filled with expensive art, but no real comfort, awards shining on shelves, but no peace in the heart, because fame can buy everything, except certainty. And then came controversies, rumors about relationships, speculations about career decisions, online debates about his identity. In the digital age, every celebrity lives in a courtroom of public opinion. Nick Jonas learned to survive not just physically, but emotionally. He stopped reacting to noise. He started focusing on purpose. Because he understood one truth: if you listen to everyone, you lose yourself. But the biggest struggle was invisible. The fear of losing relevance. The fear of being forgotten. The fear of becoming just another name. Even inside his Beverly Hills mansion, these fears never completely disappeared. And now, Nick Jonas stands at a crossroads, with wealth, fame, and luxury behind him, but uncertainty ahead. What will he choose next? Comfort or risk? Silence or revolution? Legacy or reinvention? Because the next chapter of Nick Jonas's life may change everything. In the final part, we will reveal Nick Jonas's future vision, his legacy, hidden ambitions, and the truth about his quiet luxury life. A story that goes far beyond Beverly Hills. Every legend reaches a moment when success is no longer the destination, but meaning becomes the mission. Nick Jonas has already conquered the world of music, built a global brand, and secured a life of luxury in Beverly Hills. But the story does not end there. Inside his mansion, Nick Jonas is not just thinking about today, he is thinking about legacy. What will people remember him for? A pop star, a Hollywood celebrity, or a man who transformed his struggles into power? Nick Jonas understands something that many celebrities never realize. Real success is not measured by money, it is measured by impact. So he begins to shift his focus. Beyond music, Nick Jonas explores acting, entrepreneurship, and global projects. Investments in businesses, collaborations with global brands, creative projects beyond the stage. He is no longer just following trends. He is creating them. It is personal. He wants to build a life where fame does not destroy family, a life where success does not erase identity, a life where luxury does not replace happiness. Inside his Beverly Hills mansion, Nick Jonas imagines a future different from the typical Hollywood story. A future where he is remembered not just as an entertainer, but as a visionary. And then comes the question that defines every great life. What happens when the spotlight fades? Nick Jonas knows the answer. He knows that one day, the crowds will be quieter, the headlines will move on, and new stars will rise. But what remains is character. So he invests in something timeless. Values, creativity, purpose. In Beverly Hills, his mansion stands not as a symbol of wealth, but as a symbol of evolution. A boy who started on Broadway, a teenager who battled illness, a young man who faced criticism, and an adult who mastered success. Nick Jonas's life is not perfect, but it is real, and that is what makes it legendary. Because behind the luxury walls of Beverly Hills, there is not just a superstar. There is a story of courage, discipline, and reinvention. And maybe the most powerful chapter of Nick Jonas's life has not even been written yet. If you enjoyed this legendary story, subscribe to Life of Legends and discover the hidden lives of the world's biggest stars. Because every legend has a secret story, and we reveal it